Imagine if you could access the hidden code that determines why some people find success effortlessly, while others struggle despite their best efforts. What if I told you that an ancient wisdom system has already mapped out the exact rules that govern every triumph and tragedy in your life? The 4 laws of karma aren't just spiritual concepts, they're the operating manual for reality itself. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal how these powerful forces are silently shaping your relationships, career, health, and happiness right now, whether you're aware of them or not. These aren't vague philosophical ideas. They're practical tools that can transform your future once you understand how to work with them instead of against them. By the end of this video, you'll see the invisible patterns controlling your life's outcomes and gain the power to rewrite your destiny. This knowledge has changed thousands of lives, and I promise it will change yours too. Let's begin our journey into the wisdom of karma by understanding what it truly means. The word karma comes from Sanskrit and literally translates to action or deed. But karma is far more than just the actions we take. It's the complete cycle of cause and effect that governs our existence. Every thought, word, and deed creates a ripple in the universe that eventually returns to us. This isn't about punishment or reward. It's simply the natural law of balance that maintains harmony in our lives and in the cosmos. The first law of karma states, actions create similar consequences. This is often expressed in the familiar saying, you reap what you sow. This law is the foundation of karmic wisdom and reveals the perfect symmetry of the universe. When you plant an apple seed, you don't expect an orange tree to grow. Similarly, when you plant seeds of kindness, generosity, or honesty, those same qualities will bloom in your life. Imagine Sarah, who consistently takes time to help her elderly neighbors with groceries and household tasks. She doesn't do this for recognition or reward. She does it because she sees a need and feels compelled to help. One day, Sarah finds herself in a car accident on a remote road. Almost immediately, strangers stop to help her, call emergency services, and even stay with her until help arrives. This is the first law of karma in action. The energy of compassion she consistently put into the world returned to her when she needed it most. On the flip side, consider James, who constantly criticizes and finds fault with everyone around him. He's quick to judge, slow to forgive, and rarely offers encouragement. James is confused when he faces constant rejection in job interviews and struggles to form meaningful relationships. What he doesn't realize is that the critical energy he puts out creates a similar response in his environment. The universe is simply mirroring back to him the energy he projects. The beauty of this first law is that it gives us incredible power over our lives. By consciously choosing actions aligned with what we want to experience, love, success, peace, abundance, we can intentionally create these realities. This isn't wishful thinking. It's understanding the mechanics of existence. Your actions are like programming code for your life experience, and you have the power to write that code consciously. The second law of karma teaches us that consequences grow greater than the actions. This means that the effects of our actions amplify over time, like a small stone creating expanding ripples when thrown into a still pond. A single act of kindness can trigger a chain reaction that impacts countless lives. Similarly, a single act of cruelty can cause expanding circles of suffering. Consider this example. Michael decides to mentor a struggling student for just 1 hour each week. This seemingly small investment of time transforms the student's confidence and academic performance. Years later, that student becomes a teacher who inspires hundreds of other students, many of whom go on to make significant contributions to society. Michael's initial action, just 1 hour per week, created consequences far greater than he could have imagined. This second law also explains why seemingly small negative actions can sometimes create devastating results in our lives. A small lie told to avoid momentary discomfort can grow into a tangled web of deception that eventually destroys trust and relationships. A moment of carelessness can lead to accidents with lifelong consequences. This isn't to make us fearful of every action, but rather to help us understand the tremendous power we wield with each choice. The amplification aspect of karma is what makes mindfulness so important. When we truly understand that our smallest actions can create expanding waves of consequence, we become more intentional about everything we do. We recognize that there are no insignificant actions. Everything matters. Everything contributes to the reality we're creating. The third law of karma declares, no consequence arises without a prior action. This profound truth eliminates randomness from our understanding of life. Nothing happens to us by accident or chance. Everything we experience is connected to causes we've set in motion, either in this lifetime or beyond. This doesn't mean we consciously remember or recognize all these causes, but it does mean that the universe operates with perfect accounting. This law helps us make sense of the apparent injustices in life. We might look at a kind, generous person suffering difficulties and wonder, why them? They don't deserve this. Or we might see someone who seems dishonest prospering and ask, how is this fair? The third law reminds us that we're seeing only a fragment of a much larger picture. The full ledger of cause and effect extends beyond our limited perception. Consider Lisa, who exercises regularly, eats nutritious foods, and prioritizes adequate sleep, yet still develops a serious health condition. This might seem unfair or random. But the third law of karma suggests that there are causes, perhaps genetic factors, environmental exposures, or patterns set in motion years ago that have created this outcome. Rather than seeing herself as a victim of random misfortune, Lisa can approach her situation with the empowering knowledge that healing, too, follows the same law of cause and effect. By creating new causes through medical treatment, lifestyle adjustments, and positive mental attitudes, she can influence future outcomes. This law doesn't ask us to blame ourselves for difficult circumstances, but rather to recognize our power to create new causes that will lead to better effects. Instead of feeling helpless when challenges arise, we can ask, what new actions can I take now to create more positive consequences going forward? This perspective transforms us from victims of circumstance to conscious creators of our experience. The third law also teaches us patience. Sometimes we take positive actions but don't see immediate results, leading us to doubt the validity of karmic law. But just as a farmer doesn't expect to harvest the day after planting seeds, we must understand that some consequences take time to manifest. The law remains constant. No effect without a cause, but the timing of that manifestation varies based on countless factors. The fourth and final law of karma states, once an action is performed, the consequence cannot be avoided. This law emphasizes the inevitability of karmic return. We cannot escape the consequences of our actions, whether positive or negative. The universe ensures perfect balance in all things, and what we set in motion must complete its cycle. This doesn't mean we're helplessly bound to suffer for past mistakes. Rather, it means that energy must be balanced. If we've created negative karma, we can balance it through sincere remorse, making amends, and creating positive actions that outweigh the negative. Think of it like a financial debt. It must be paid, but we can work out different payment arrangements or offset it with new income. David, for example, spent years building a business through deceptive marketing practices. When he realized the negative impact of his actions, he completely transformed his business model to one based on transparency and genuine value. He also dedicated a significant portion of his profits to consumer education programs. While he couldn't erase the effects of his past actions, his new direction created positive karma that helped balance the scales. The fourth law reminds us that accountability is built into the fabric of existence. There are no cosmic loopholes or ways to game the system. This is actually tremendously freeing because it means we live in a just universe where ultimately everyone faces the consequences of their choices. We don't need to concern ourselves with whether others are getting away with harmful actions. The law ensures they are not, even if the consequences aren't immediately visible to us. Now that we understand the 4 laws of karma, let's explore how we can apply this wisdom to transform our lives. First, we must become more conscious of our thoughts, words, and actions. Many of us operate on autopilot, reacting habitually to situations without considering the karmic consequences. By pausing before we react and asking, "What seeds am I planting with this action?" we begin to make more conscious choices. Second, we can practice patience and trust in the process. Sometimes we take positive actions, but don't see immediate results, leading to discouragement. The laws of karma remind us that consequences grow over time and follow their own timing. Just as a farmer doesn't dig up seeds every day to check their progress, we must trust that our positive actions are creating momentum that will eventually become visible. Third, we can use the understanding of karma to develop compassion, both for ourselves and others. When we make mistakes, knowing that we can create new, positive causes helps us avoid spiraling into shame or self-condemnation. Similarly, when others act unskillfully, we can recognize that they too are subject to these same laws and will eventually learn through the consequences of their actions. Consider this powerful practice. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect on your actions. Ask yourself, what kind of karma did I create today? What seeds did I plant that will grow into tomorrow's experiences? This simple reflection brings awareness to patterns you might otherwise miss and allows you to make adjustments before small tendencies grow into larger consequences. Karma isn't just about avoiding negative actions. It's equally about proactively creating positive causes. Each morning, you might set an intention. Today, I will plant seeds of kindness, patience, and excellence in everything I do. This conscious intention setting programs your awareness to recognize opportunities for positive action throughout the day. One of the most powerful applications of karmic understanding is forgiveness. When someone has hurt us, we often hold on to resentment as if our anger somehow punishes the other person. But understanding karma shows us that the other person will naturally face the consequences of their actions without our help. This realization allows us to release the burden of resentment and free ourselves from its negative effects on our well-being. Similarly, karmic wisdom helps us release the need to control outcomes. Many of us exhaust ourselves trying to manipulate situations to get exactly what we want. But the laws of karma teach us that our responsibility is simply to create the best causes we can. The exact form and timing of the effects are governed by countless factors beyond our control. This understanding allows us to focus our energy on what we can control, our own actions, and release attachment to specific outcomes. The 4 laws of karma also explain why gratitude is such a powerful practice. When we express genuine appreciation for the good in our lives, we're acknowledging the positive causes we've created in the past. This recognition actually strengthens those positive patterns and creates more to be grateful for in the future. Gratitude isn't just a nice sentiment, it's a karmic amplifier that accelerates positive returns. One common misunderstanding about karma is that it means we should never focus on ourselves or our own needs. Some people believe that self-care or pursuing personal goals is somehow selfish and creates negative karma. But this isn't accurate. Taking care of yourself, developing your talents, and creating abundance in your life gives you more resources to share with others. The key is intention. Are you developing yourself at the expense of others, or as a way to ultimately contribute more? Another misconception is that karma means accepting abuse or mistreatment as deserved based on past actions. This is a distortion of karmic wisdom. While karma teaches that our current circumstances connect to past causes, it equally emphasizes our power to create new causes right now. If you're in a harmful situation, the most karmically positive action is often to remove yourself from that environment and create healthier boundaries. Perhaps the most beautiful aspect of karma is how it reveals our interconnection. No action exists in isolation. Everything we do affects the whole. When you perform an act of kindness for a stranger, you're not just helping that person. You're strengthening the field of kindness that surrounds all of us. When you maintain your integrity, even when it's difficult, you're not just affecting your own future. You're contributing to a more honest world for everyone. This understanding of interconnection leads naturally to the concept of collective karma. Families, communities, organizations, and even nations create shared karma through their collective actions and values. We see this playing out in climate change, economic systems, and social movements. By understanding the power of collective action, we can join together to create positive causes that benefit not just ourselves, but future generations. The wisdom of karma isn't meant to burden us with anxiety about every small action. Rather, it's meant to empower us with the knowledge that we are not helpless in the face of life's challenges. We are constantly creating our future reality through our present choices. This perspective transforms us from passive recipients of life's circumstances to active creators of our experience. As you move forward with this knowledge, remember that karma isn't about perfection. We all make mistakes and create some negative causes. The key is to recognize these patterns with compassion, learn from them, and make different choices moving forward. The universe doesn't demand perfection, it simply responds to what we put into it. Every moment offers a fresh opportunity to plant new seeds that will grow into the life you desire. The 4 laws of karma remind us that life isn't random or chaotic. It follows principles we can understand and work with. This doesn't mean we can control everything that happens to us, but it does mean we can approach life's events with wisdom, understanding that everything serves our growth, and everything contains lessons that help us evolve. Ultimately, karma teaches us responsibility, not in a heavy, burdensome sense, but in the empowering realization that we are responsible. We have the ability to respond consciously to life, rather than react unconsciously. We have the power to choose how we engage with each moment, knowing that these choices shape not just our future experiences, but the quality of our present awareness. As we come to the end of our exploration of karma's 4 powerful laws, I hope you feel the same sense of empowerment and possibility that I do. Understanding that our actions create similar consequences, that these consequences grow over time, that nothing happens without a cause, and that consequences are inevitable, gives us a framework for creating a life of meaning, purpose, and joy. You are not a passive passenger on your life journey. You are the navigator, constantly charting your course through the choices you make moment by moment. If this video has given you insights or aha moments, please hit that like button and share it with someone who might benefit from this wisdom. Subscribe to our channel for more content that will help you navigate life's journey with greater awareness and purpose. And I'd love to hear in the comments below, how will you apply these karmic principles in your life starting today? Your journey of conscious creation begins now, and I'm honored to be part of it.